Guten Morgen und willkommen zurück, liebe Gäste, zu Tag 2 unserer Webfleet Solutions Mobility Konferenz. Ich bin Wolfgang Schmid, Sales Director Dach bei Webfleet Solutions und freue mich, auch heute Ihr Gastgeber zu sein. Das Motto unserer Konferenz ist: So gestalten Sie die Flotte von morgen. Und wenn wir uns mit Fragestellungen von morgen bzw. Zukunft auseinandersetzen, gehört das Thema Digitalisierung dazu. Und nicht nur das, es ist Kern des Ganzen. Denn die Digitalisierung hat nicht nur den Alltag der Menschen verändert, die heute ganz selbstverständlich online einkaufen und sich über Social-Media-Plattformen und andere Tools vernetzen. Sie hat auch die Businesswelt verändert und zugleich massiv beschleunigt. Und sie beschäftigt die Unternehmen branchenübergreifend. Die Frage ist längst nicht mehr, ob neue Technologien wirklich kontinuierlich kommen werden, sondern wie Unternehmen sie einsetzen können, um langfristig wettbewerbsfähig zu bleiben. Daten sind dabei das Herzstück und der Treibstoff der Digitalisierung. Als führender Telematikanbieter Europas hilft Webfleet Solutions seinen Kunden, Daten zu nutzen, um sich als Unternehmen stetig weiterzuentwickeln. Unsere Lösungen unterstützen sie, wichtige Parameter im Transport und Logistik und der Mobilität allgemein zu optimieren. Von der Einsatzplanung, der effizienten Durchführung inklusive der Nachhaltigkeitsfaktoren bis hin zur Abrechnung und dem Controlling kann das IT-Lösungsportfolio von Webfleet Solutions ihr Mobilitätsmanagement stärken. Und auch Fahrer werden damit unterstützt. Denn ein wesentlicher Faktor, um Stress für Fahrer zu reduzieren, sind bestmögliche technische Rahmenbedingungen, die in einer effizienten Zeitplanung münden. Wir sprechen heute mit innovativen Branchenexperten über die Rolle der Digitalisierung für die Flotte von morgen und allen Anwendungsbereichen, angefangen von großen Transportflotten über Facility Management und Handwerksflotten bis hin zu Außendienstflotten. Welche Rolle spielt die Digitalisierung? Was hält Unternehmen davon ab, hier einen Schritt weiter zu gehen? Wie treiben Daten Entscheidungen für die Weiterentwicklung von Unternehmensprozessen an? Wir freuen uns auf Jan-Maarten, CEO Bridgestone Mobility Solutions, und auf Raghunath, VP Data Solutions and Innovations Bridgestone Mobility Solutions. Wir sprechen mit Damien Penny, Vice President EMIA bei Lytix, über KI-Technologien, und wir sind im Gespräch mit Kollegen und Partnern von Aurios, Simacan, Braxedo und Emotrack. Ganz besonders freue ich mich auf den Austausch mit Simone Götz, Leiterin Zentrale Dienste bei der Jura-Spedition, sowie ein sehr engagiertes Mitglied im Bundesverband Wirtschaft, Verkehr und Logistik. Am Ende des Tages haben wir ein weiteres Highlight vorbereitet. Wir begrüßen als Special Guest Thomas Röhler, Olympiasieger im Speerwerfen und Bridgestone-Partner, mit dem ich mich heute Nachmittag über Speerwerfen, aber viel mehr noch über Fokussierung, Leistungserwartungen und Höchstleistungen unterhalte. Seien Sie gespannt auf eine Vielzahl an unterschiedlichen Perspektiven. Ich wünsche Ihnen einen schönen, informativen und unterhaltsamen Tag. Sie werden wieder begleitet von unseren 3 Moderatoren: Michael Neuner, Product and Sales Trainer, Kai Wüstner, Sales Engineer und Alexander Hanke, Customer Support Manager Dach. Viel Spaß und bis heute Nachmittag.
Good morning and welcome everyone to day 2 of our Bridgestone and Webfleet Solution Mobility Conference. I hope you enjoyed day 1 and what an exciting program we have in store for today. We have some amazing speakers lined up for today, sharing their perspectives on the evolving world of mobility and the challenges and opportunities we face. And in my opinion, sharing knowledge in events like this is important. I hope it will bring you the insights that will help you to accelerate our journey to a new mobility future. And let's have no illusion, there is a lot of change. Change is happening today as we speak. These are exciting times for everyone involved in automotive transport. I think you will agree with that. At Bridgestone Mobility Solutions, the business unit of Bridgestone that I lead and includes Webfleet solutions, tire solutions and innovative data solutions, we're actually in a privileged position to not only watch this future of mobility unfold, but also help to shape it. I was appointed Bridgestone Mobility Solutions CEO in December 2020, and even in the short period since then, which was a time of volatility and uncertainty in the wake of the pandemic, we have seen rapid developments and innovations in the world of transport, fleets and mobility. And I'm convinced that eventually these developments will lead to a better mobility world that is safer, greener and more efficient, transforming the way we live, work and move. So let's have a closer look together at this emerging new mobility era. The word mobility itself has become very fashionable and the talk of the day in any automotive event or conference. If you walk around the corner from your home or office, chances big you will find a garage, workshop or vehicle repair center that now calls itself Mobility Center. But actually, mobility, of course, is not a new concept. It has always been with us, driving social and economic progress. So what has changed? Why is mobility now the dominant word? Well, I believe that has not been a conscious industry decision. It's rather the result of changing patterns, as it better reflects today's multiple modes of transport and vehicle types, the increased number of options and different ownership models, shifting the focus from vehicle-centric to user and mobility-centric. Looking back, in the 19th century, mobility was much more simple and far less sophisticated. A mobility decision might have been the choice between walking or stepping aboard a horse-drawn carriage. Today, that choice is much more sophisticated, between using a car, public transport, bike, or even an e-scooter. Along the day, you may make multiple choices. And as we've transitioned from simple modes of transport in Mobility 1.0 to multiple modes of transport in Mobility 2.0, transport has also become much more technology-enabled and much more connected. And with that, we've seen the growth of smarter mobility solutions. These solutions have become our enablers. These services and digital technology platforms provide us with on-demand accessibility. They offer us the tools to support and optimize transport management, and they help us all to improve our mobility decisions. One example, it has now become the norm for all of us as consumers to hail cabs or receive fast food deliveries using apps on our phones. It has become standard practice for fleet managers to digitally locate their drivers and dispatch them to customers at the touch of a button. And with these growing possibilities, end users and mobility customers are increasingly looking for end-to-end solutions instead of fragmented solutions that they have to stitch together themselves. So we can see how the term mobility has become all-encompassing. And we all have an important part to play in this exciting new environment. But the journey doesn't stop here. It continues. We now stand squarely at the gates of what I call Mobility 3.0. This next, dare I say, electrifying phase in our mobility journey will be enabled by the very latest technologies, and it has the potential to revolutionize our mobile lives like never before. As I stand here today, the world is facing unprecedented challenges. Today, since 2007, more than half of the world's population has been living in cities and megacities. And by 2030, this is projected to rise to 60%. What's more, up to 30% of today's congestion and CO2 emissions come from urban trucks, and the impact of e-commerce is only expected to increase. So, it's obvious this rapid urbanization and mobility demand will lead to unsustainable traffic congestion, escalating delivery costs, and unacceptable levels of air pollution. So the world must act, and mobility innovations must lie at the very heart of the solutions that overcome these challenges. Part of the answer lies in CASE. We have all heard now how the new era of mobility will be connected, autonomous, shared and electric. This CASE acronym has been widely publicized, and it paints actually a very good picture of our direction of travel as technology and social behavior trends promise to address the fundamental challenges of mobility. So CASE is part of the puzzle, but not the full puzzle. What's more, each of these separate areas of CASE will be powered by the single most important ingredient in this new transport ecosystem: data, the oil of the 21st century. It's data that will allow the current model of vehicle ownership to change and enable shared vehicles. While the recent COVID crisis may have slowed down the move towards sharing vehicles, the underlying factors have not changed. Most of the vehicles today are not used most of the day, and younger generations living in cities care less about owning their vehicles. So we may expect this trend to accelerate again. The story for commercial mobility may be different, but the revolution here is set to be equally dramatic. Again, it will be data and technology that hold the key to driving change. While in most cases the utilization of vehicles used for delivery of goods and services is higher, there are considerable inefficiencies that transport innovations and smart mobility solutions will help to resolve. Looking again from the perspective of CASE, we can already see glimpses of what the future may bring us. Just this year, for instance, we saw autonomous on-demand bus services being trialed in Singapore across the city, driven by their shortage of drivers that we see all over the world. Looking beyond traditional modes of transport, fleets of delivery robots, which are walking around the pavements in cities of the UK and also college campuses in the US, may offer a solution for soaring last-mile delivery costs. And the idea of freight being delivered by drones has been picked up by companies like Google and Amazon, doing trials and developing prototypes that are being tested as we speak. So this all may sound like a scene from a science fiction movie, but with exponential technologies, you see that the development, penetration and adoption of new technology is faster than ever before. Another example, closer to the home of Bridgestone. As a mark of our commitment to sustainability, we have partnered with mobility innovator Lightyear to engineer the tires of the world's first long-range solar-powered electric vehicle. Lightyear 1, which goes into production next year, is up to 3 times more energy efficient than the electric vehicles we see on our roads today. And these types of developments are just the tip of the iceberg. Perhaps the most significant changes we will see in the next period around the transition to electric vehicles. And broader, actually, the use of alternative energy. Here we are starting to see a true tipping point. Driven from the top by government's driving sustainability agenda and the resulting regulations, but also from the bottom by clever battery innovations by manufacturers and a massive turnaround that we have seen in the last couple of years from combustion engines to electric platforms. We see electromobility is starting to rise, with a variety of new EV models coming to the market at affordable prices. The electrification of the car market has been dominating the headlines, but also the business case for electric commercial fleets is growing ever stronger. Light commercial vehicle costs are falling and the range and availability are improved. In fact, at Webfleet Solutions, from our data, we have seen that range may no longer be an obstacle for the transition towards electric light commercial vehicles. Webfleet's Fleet's Electrification Planning Reports is a clever software and data tool that is using data from connected vehicles, and analyzed data show that over more than 100,000 vehicles, only 1/3 is actually doing more than 300 kilometers a day. You can see from these graphs that the electrification potential across Europe for both light commercial vehicles and business cars is huge. In Norway, electric car sales are already outstripping all other vehicles, impacting the street scenery of a city like Oslo. So, traditional road transport is clearly being disrupted, and data is clearly an enabler to fuel that revolution. The fundamental needs of fleets will not change, improving their operational efficiencies, customer service, reducing their total cost of ownership, remaining compliant in the face of new transport regulations, and raising the bar in driver safety and reducing accidents. But fulfilling these needs will happen in a different context. They will be increasingly striving to fulfill these needs against the backdrop of new mobility business models, technically advanced vehicles, increased automation, and an escalation of internet connectivity, Internet of Things, vehicle-to-everything communications, and so on and so forth. So, we embark on this journey together, and data intelligence will hold the key to businesses making the right decisions at the right times, whether they are connected, electric, autonomous, or even shared. And so, as the world of mobility is changing, telematics and fleet management technology will have to change with it. Telematics all started by connecting vehicles with a basic onboard computer to enable simple track and trace, what I call here telematics 1.0. And since then, fleet management systems have evolved a lot and broadened their scope, supporting the demands that fleets have faced over the past decade for greater efficiency and productivity. And now we are entering the next phase, telematics 3.0, which offers complete end-to-end visibility, marrying massive amounts of connected vehicle data with artificial intelligence, automating fleet and operational decisions, and making our management and maintenance systems predictive and preventive rather than reactive. Management by exception will become the norm, while our operations will become more adaptive and efficient, using real-time insights and flexible ownership models to manage peaks and troughs. We will be better placed to cope with dynamic market demands. Telematics 3.0 technology will also become a prerequisite to enable compliance with changing and more demanding city regulations. Bridgestone aims to play a key role in helping companies to enter and succeed in this new world of Mobility 3.0 and Telematics 3.0. It has embarked on a transformative journey from a global leader in tires and rubbers to a leading mobility solution provider, providing solutions for safe and sustainable mobility. The original foundation of the company, Bridgestone 1.0, began back in 1931 when Bridgestone was established. As a leading tire manufacturer, it has always been Bridgestone's mission to serve society first, with superior quality. The second foundation, Bridgestone 2.0, took place in 1988 when we merged with the Firestone Tire and Rubber Company, becoming a truly global company. Bridgestone 3.0 marks a third foundation in our company's history and future, the evolution of our offering beyond tires and diversified products to include advanced and sustainable mobility solutions, including the Webfleet software as a service platform. As a company, we want to act as a one-stop shop fulfilling your most important fleet needs. And by partnering with you, we want to co-shape this Mobility 3.0 and Telematics 3.0 world together and increase the value for our customers as well as society. Now, there's lots of work to be done and exciting developments on the road ahead, but our ongoing transformation illustrates our long-term vision and commitment. Thanks for listening today, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you very much.
Big data is not a buzzword anymore. It's a reality. And I can barely think of an industry today that is not using this technology or feeling the effect of the big data. As the vehicles are increasingly becoming smart devices on wheels, fleet managers have now access to a huge amount of data that they can make use of in real time to optimize their fleet operations and to deal with problems even before they occur. Big data allows fleet managers to get actionable insights and take informed decisions for their daily operations to increase the fleet efficiency, safety, and sustainability. With the increase of connected fleets, the amount of data generated is also growing on high speed. Today, even at the lower level of autonomy, connected car can generate around 25 gigabytes of data per hour. And in fact, 90% of all data in the world has generated in the last 2 years. This is a challenge, but also the opportunity. How to make use of high volume of the data and utilize these data points in a smart way. Already now, big data and AI has made fleet management more effective than ever, with the possibility to identify and predict potential issues, increasing fuel efficiency, reducing the CO2 emissions, optimizing TCO, or even in the electrification journey of the fleet. So data will continue to revolutionize the fleet industry and will enable the safe and sustainable mobility moving forward. Now, I would like to provide some concrete examples on how big data and analytic solutions are transforming the transport and logistics industry in recent years. One prominent example is efficient fuel management. Fuel expenditure being one of the biggest cost drivers for business, now more than ever, it is crucial to optimize every penny spent on it. And in this time, it's essential to understand the smart strategies that help to sustain the bottom line. Improving fuel economy not only saves the cost of your business, but also minimizes your fleet's impact on the environment, making your entire operation both leaner and greener. When managing a fleet of commercial vehicles, small individual optimization can make a big difference. For example, a 3 pence difference per liter of fuel repeated on 100 vehicles can make you save close to 100,000 pounds per year. You can monitor vehicle position, speed, trip data, fuel percentage in the tank, refueling location, fuel station, details, fuel price, everything in real time, and visualize all your relevant data in an interactive dashboard to make smarter decisions. That's why big data equals big opportunity to save your fuel costs. Another example that I would like to take to mention the ability to use analytics for carbon footprint reduction. Plotting the shortest possible route is usually the good start point for reducing CO2. The combination of trip planning software with the historic route data captured by the telematics system gives the fleet operator the tools to dispatch the vehicles along the most efficient routes and the most efficient times of the day. A 12-month trial by Fraud City Data Solutions in London found that the van could have saved 30 hours of the driving time per week by just starting its working day 2 hours earlier. It's very interesting. And also, UPS calculated its optimized route saved its 10 million gallons of fuel annually, reducing its CO2 emissions by 100,000 tons per year. So to conclude, using the latest tools and technologies, business can enhance the profitability and reduce their impact on environment at the same time. Let's now switch to another important topic, driver safety for fleet. As this one is one of the important areas of the fleet management. According to the automotive fleet, the primary cause of uptick in the preventable fleet accident is driver distraction, which is the cause of 25 to 30% of the fleet-related accidents. By using AI and machine learning algorithms and analyzing a variety of the data types such as telematics data, vehicle onboard cameras, traffic cameras, and the driver monitoring applications, most common causes of the accident can be identified, and we can get a clear insight on how to avoid them. In case accidents are being caused by the vehicle themselves, fleet managers can predict the accidents before they occur and prevent them from happening through the predictive maintenance. Now, let's look at the predictive maintenance. Fleet predictive maintenance can have significant positive effects on fleet management. Fleet managers can use of the fleet management data analytics insights to keep the fleets up and running all the time by avoiding downtime associated with the emergency repairs. Thanks to predictive analytics again, maintenance issues can be resolved before they lead into costly problems. by detecting imminent failures through the data gathered by the dozens of sensors installed in the trucks, trailers, and other fleet vehicles, it is possible to improve the safety drastically. Today, that's how predictive maintenance is also a key goal for the fleet operators, notably transportation and logistics companies for whom downtime is extremely costly. Another aspect of transforming your fleet not only to a more efficient and cost-effective business, but to a sustainable one is the transition to electric vehicles. Electrification of the fleet is a hot topic for everyone running a commercial fleet at the moment, and driven by the government restriction and incentives in terms of the lower running cost and, of course, a global need to cut CO2 emissions. Data-driven fleet management solutions actively support fleet managers and the businesses their whole electrification journey and help to unlock the full value of the commercial EVs. Vehicle data can help them to assess how suitable vehicles in their current fleet are to be switched with the electric vehicles. Telematics solutions help you to identify the maximum daily driving ranges of your vehicles and their driving patterns. And with these data insights, you can identify which vehicles exactly can be replaced by an EV, providing actual electrification planning advice. Altogether, the data can give us a clear picture. For example, how the batteries perform in different conditions, how a current fleet is operating and outlining precisely which vehicles will meet the requirements, what level of charging infrastructure is needed, and even provide savings and ROI calculations. In case you are an early adopter of the EVs, then it's extremely important for you to understand the facts that helps to better control the running cost and provide critical insights to manage the vehicles more efficiently, including the biggest challenge of cost-effective charging solution. And that's the reason you need to monitor real-time information on the battery levels, charging state, remaining driving time, and many other facts. In essence, by leveraging data insights, you can transform the commercial fleets to EVs without the guesswork. So, to conclude, the key things to remember: the data we are getting from our vehicles and other IoT devices is increasingly provide us with a huge opportunity for efficient, safe, and sustainable mobility. And the important thing, managing your fleet using big data is getting simpler nowadays if you are equipped with the right tools and that deliver you the information and the insights that you need.
Sehr geehrte Damen und Herren, geschätzte Kunden und Geschäftspartner, wir freuen uns sehr, Sie heute bei der Webfleet Solutions Mobility Conference 2021 begrüßen zu dürfen. Mein Name ist Mühlhäuser und ich darf einleitend zur Konferenz einige kurze Worte an Sie richten. Über die letzten Jahre hat sich in unserer Branche das Thema nachhaltige Mobilität von einem Trend hin zu einem absolut übergeordneten Ziel auf globaler Ebene entwickelt. Daher geht es für ein weltweit führendes Unternehmen wie Bridgestone schon lange nicht mehr nur darum, mit unseren Premium-Produkten und Lösungen zuverlässig von A nach B zu kommen. Der Anspruch ist viel komplexer und entsprechend haben wir uns als innovatives Hightech-Unternehmen deutlich weiterführende Ziele gesetzt. Auf diesem Weg leitet uns unsere mittel- und langfristige Umweltplanung klare Ziele, die bis hin zur vollständigen Klimaneutralität in 2050 und darüber hinaus reichen. Unser Meilenstein 2030 repräsentiert hier ein Etappenziel, bis zu dem wir als Unternehmen unsere gesamten CO2-Emissionen um 50% gegenüber 2011 reduzieren wollen. Zusätzlich soll der Anteil an recycelten und erneuerbaren Materialien auf 40% erhöht werden. Diese Ambitionen legen den Grundstein für unsere Vision, bis spätestens 2050 vollständig klimaneutral zu agieren und 100% nachhaltige Materialien zu nutzen. Um diese Ziele zu erreichen und dabei gleichzeitig unserem Qualitäts- und Serviceversprechen an Sie, unsere Kunden und Partner, vollumfänglich gerecht zu werden, sind unsere Mobilität- und Flottenmanagement-Lösungen ein wichtiger Schlüssel. Dabei ist für uns klar, die Mobilität der Zukunft muss einfach zugänglich, smart und intelligent, sicher und nachhaltig sein. Im Prinzip folgen wir diesem Ansatz schon seit der Gründung von Bridgestone im Jahr 1931. Der Leitspruch unseres Gründers lautet Serving Society with Superior Quality, also der Gesellschaft mit Premium-Qualität zu dienen. Mit diesem Anspruch setzen wir uns mit wegweisenden Innovationen und integrierten Lösungen dafür ein, einen Mehrwert für die Gesellschaft, unsere Kunden und Partner zu schaffen. Denn eine möglichst nachhaltig ausgerichtete Mobilität spielt eine substanzielle Rolle für unsere Gesellschaft und stellt entsprechend einen enormen Mehrwert dar. Ob Fracht- oder Personentransport, Lkw und Busse sind das Rückgrat der Weltwirtschaft. Bridgestone entwickelt daher kontinuierlich neue Innovationen im Bereich der Lkw-Reifentechnologie. Mit unserem umfassenden Angebot an Premiumreifen, die auf nahezu jede kommerzielle Anwendung optimal zugeschnitten sind, bieten wir ein hohes Maß an Sicherheit, Zuverlässigkeit und Kosteneffizienz. Dies für den Einsatz im Nahverkehr wie auf der Langstrecke, bei jeglichen Fahrbedingungen. Doch die Mobilität befindet sich in einem schnellen Wandel und über Premiumprodukte hinaus sind wir gefordert, weiterführende Lösungen zu entwickeln. Innovativ, zukunftsweisend und effizient. Gewerbliche Flottenbetreiber stehen unter dem ständigen Druck, die Leistung ihrer Flotte zu steigern und dabei gleichzeitig anfallende Kosten zu reduzieren. Um diesen Ansprüchen gerecht zu werden, kombiniert das integrierte Lösungsangebot von Bridgestone und Webfleet Solutions außergewöhnlich leistungsstarke Produkte, umfassende Dienstleistungen und hochmoderne digitale Plattformen. Diese zukunftsorientiert und nachhaltig ausgerichteten Technologien stellen das Herzstück unseres Angebots für Flottenkunden dar und sind in unserem individuell anpassbaren Servicepaket Total Tire Care zusammengefasst. An dieser Stelle möchte ich daher zu unseren Verantwortlichen und Experten und ihren informativen Einblicken zur Mobilität von morgen überleiten. Hier erfahren Sie im Detail, welche Vorteile Sie für Ihr Anforderungsprofil aus unserem Leistungsangebot nutzen können, um für Ihre Kunden zu jeder Zeit die Nummer 1 zu sein. Ich bedanke mich für Ihre Aufmerksamkeit und wünsche Ihnen eine informative und kurzweilige Mobility Conference 2021.